Welcome to Life Indeed, the podcast where we discuss about the life the way it is not. Today, as usual, we have decided to put this session as a Q&A session because we dedicate one session of the month to all of the viewers, to all of the guys who supports us, who have questions, who have any doubt. They can come on this platform, ask questions, and we would love to answer. Today, due to some reasons, my co-host, my brother Piyush Patel, is not in today because he has some other important assignments that he has to complete. So I thought that I will go ahead and appear in front of you guys like a genie and would love to answer your questions. So at Life Indeed podcast, as most of the viewers knows that we discuss about the holistic experience of life. Like we talk about communication, we talk about education, we talk about money, we talk about life science, we talk about peace of mind, career. So you if you have any questions, this session we have put in today exclusively for all of you guys. I hope I'm live and people are watching me because there are no comments, so I'm just wondering if I'm live. Oh, let me just have a look on all the platform, because when we are two people, we can easily, coordinate and look at who is live, who's not. So I'll just give me 1 second. I'll just check if I'm live on all platform. Looks like yes, I am live. So welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Talking about Life Indeed podcast. We started this podcast, I think 1 year. It's been 1 year almost, about to complete 1 year, and we are into 46th episode today. It has been an amazing journey so far, and we have had some wonderful people from all across the world, from diverse industries, who came, who shared their valuable knowledge with all of us, with the audience, and they answered the questions. It was really beneficial for everyone. So we seems like we have a lot of people who are joining us. So I would like to welcome Muhammad Ahmed Iqbal and Smriti Garg. Thank you so much, Smriti, for always being there. And Muhammad Ahmed Iqbal is, wow. The moment we started this podcast, we have a questions I would love to answer. And by the way, if any one of you people from the audience, of course, everybody has different perspective. Everybody has certain set of experience. If you would like to answer anybody on this chat, because obviously I'll make these questions visible. You can also answer those questions, and I will make sure that I will make your answers visible as well, because I want to be I want this to be inclusive. I want this to be an exercise wherein I'm not the only one who's answering the questions. From my experience, you guys also have some knowledge of the subjects, and this will bring diverse perspective. And that's the whole idea of this Life Indeed podcast. It's not only about the host; it's also about the audience. So the first question is how to find the inner talent while already recruited in an organization and can't take the risk to change the job due to family responsibilities. Brother Muhammad Ahmed Iqbal, first of all, thank you so much for asking this question. It's not only your question; it's a question of millions of the people around the world who are doing the job. And to be honest, I am no exception to this. So I mean, I'll give the answer to you keeping in mind my perspective, because I am also the one who have been working on figuring out the things, like, and what I'm passionate about, what my purpose of life is, what's my mission and vision from last 2.5 years. And to a large extent, I would say that I've been able to find it. And it's not a rocket science. And by the way, because you have put a condition in the question that while you're working in the organization, at times I do agree it becomes difficult a little bit, because you're doing your job. At times you're too busy from that job that you're not able to focus. You don't even get time to focus on certain other things. But I personally feel that No job is going to demand you to work 24 hours a day, right? And if you sleep for, like, take an example, 7 to 8 hours, then still you're left with like 16 hours. There are 24 hours a day, and you work for, let's say, maximum 10 hour 11 hours every day. Instead of working 9 hours, you're still left with 3 4 hours. So your results, your ability to find your passion, your ability to find your purpose will determine what you do in those remaining 3 to 4 hours. Some of us may have like 7 to 8 hours remaining. It depends on the individual situations, it depends on the kind of job that you're doing. But whatever the time that you're left with, what you do in that time will determine whether you are able to find your passion or purpose or talent or not. Now, the question really arises, how can you find your talent? So, I think one of the things that we got to understand that there is an outside universe, which of course exists, and there is an inside universe which exists in us. And there is a way to explore and tap into that universe. And how can you do that? That's what I'm going to talk about, because ultimately, you know, thinking is the hardest thing to do in a life. As one of the legend Naval Ravikant says, that a man can solve any of the problem of his life if he can sit silently with himself in a room for 30 minutes. Now, this is a question that we all have to ask to ourselves. Do we get time to sit silently with ourselves and ask questions on some of the decisions that we have taken in the past, or plan about what we really, really want? What's define what your vision is, how your future is going to look like, how would you curate it? I think the me and Piyush have been very, very vocal about this fact that we do not take a pause in our life, and that's the main problem. We keep on learning, doing the things that, pleasing people, and doing the things which will make others happy, but we never take a pause, and we never reflect upon the things that we really, really want. Now, the first thing that you got to do is to ask certain questions to yourself. If you want to find your talent lies in your strength. Your talent lies in your strength. So what are your strengths? Maybe if you're not able to uncover that talent, unravel that talent, and if you're struggling to do so, go and create a questionnaire on Google form, and ask for the feedback from your loved ones, because those are your loved ones who are very close to you. They will tell you what you're good at times. When, the reason why we are not able to see what's happening with us, because we are inside a jar. Unless we come out of that jar, we will not be able to look at what we are good at, what we are, maybe what's our weaknesses. So identify your strength and weaknesses to start off with. Think about what tickles you, what makes you really joyous. Think about the conversation that really charge you up. Think about those discussions after which you feel like very delighted, you feel enlightened. Think about those people whom you sit with and they make you feel really, really good. So you have to do all of these things, and don't forget to do the meditation, of course, because in order to learn, you have to first unlearn. In order to clutter this mind with something better, you have to declutter this mind with something that you already have, which may not be supporting you, which is not for you, which is against you. So it's all about transforming the way you look at the things. It's all about transforming your approach. And we have some wonderful comment from Smriti, and I think she's also trying to answer. Smriti is saying, try to find which thing you really love to do. Of course, that's what we have been talking about. Self reflect in yourself. What is that activity you do? You forgot everything and goes into flow state, Mang Polo. Of course, thank you so much for a wonderful addition, Smriti, because ultimately, if you don't understand what you love to do, probably you will not be able to find your talent, because your talent lies, when you are doing any work and it doesn't feel like a work, that's probably your talent. Because I remember yesterday somebody asked me this question on Instagram, that Tosif bhai, how do you manage so much of work? You create content, you're doing a job, you're coaching people. So how do you manage so much of work? You're managing family as well. It's not easy. And to be honest, something that I'm really, really passionate about, it doesn't feel like a work to me. it feels as if I'm playing a game. Because when you do something that you truly love, you don't feel like it is a work. It feels as if you're playing a game. And when you play something, it doesn't appear as if you're doing something. Or you don't even feel exhausted, you don't feel fatigued, you don't tired up, right? So I hope, Muhammad, whatever perspective I have had, I have shared the solution, and hopefully it may answer your question. But if you have something else, please do drop in the comment section. I would love to answer, and I would love to get the answer from all the individuals who are there, who are in the Life Indeed family. Thank you so much, Smriti, for your wonderful comment and answer from for Muhammad. We have another person, Mohsin Umar, who has joined. So many people are joining, and people are excited. Pertinent solution, Mohsin Umar. Pertinent solution to what, Mohsin? If you could please elaborate, it would really, really be nice. Thank you so much. All right. So I think to all of the people who are listening to us, and to people who would be listening to this podcast episode, this is the question that Muhammad has asked. This is very, very important questions, because ultimately, if you do what you love, the chances are, it is highly likely that you will thrive. And to be honest, it's an honest confession. I have been, even in my 9 to 5 job, I have been doing the job which I really liked, loved. Because my mentor says that, you know at any given point of time in your life, when you move from chances to choice, that's the time your life will change. But the question really is, the way you can move from chance to choice is to become more self-aware about yourself. What your likes, what your dislikes, what are your existing beliefs, what are you passionate about, what are your values, because your values are the guiding principles. The values will enable you to take some of the most significant decisions of your life. So become holistically self-aware, and as you will see that you're becoming self-aware, the things will start to change in your life. uh, Avinash Chaudhary has said really, really well, and I absolutely resonate with what he's saying. He's saying that when you are inspired, you never get tired. What a comment! Thank you so much, Avinash. I really appreciate your contribution. It's again, you as a human being, you need motivation as well as you need inspiration. You need both. When you have these two things with you, you will become simply unstoppable. So there is no excuse. If you're doing a job, you're into 9 to 5, as long as you are able to give your 100%, and you're doing the justice to the job, and over and above, if you're able to save some of the time, and you're doing something for yourself, you're trying to understand yourself better, you're trying to help people, I think nothing like it. Nothing would be more meaningful than this. uh, Avinash Chaudhary saying, no, you're right. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you, Sunita Mosi. She's always there for me. Thank you so much. And a lot of people have joined from different platform. I'm not able to look at all the platform today, because I know I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on LinkedIn, as well as I'm live on, you know, uh, Facebook. So today I am alone. So, but you guys are there, so it is becoming more engaging. And I would really, really want from all of you people who are watching me right now, ask the questions, because I want this to be interactive. I want this to be meaningful, because remember, if you will ask questions, you are not asking questions for yourself. Maybe it is going to help a lot of other people as well, not only today who are watching us live, but in the future, who would be live watching us live in the future. Maybe your question can change somebody's life. It is as significant as it sounds. All right. So I would like to, in the meantime, while you might be posting some comments and questions, I would like to talk about the future of Life Indeed podcast, because me and Piyush, my co-host, have decided to revamp and transform this entire podcast, the way we do the podcast. Maybe, we are restructuring a lot of things in the background, and we are trying to build a community as well. We are trying to create a different, altogether a different YouTube channel for Life Indeed podcast, wherein we will, of course, design all the interviews with all the viewers, with all the guests who have come and gave their valuable time. We will put all those videos on one single platform. We will have our separate channel. We will have our own website with Life Indeed. And of course, we are going to go ahead and share all of this news with you probably on the 50th episode. And by the way, me and Piyush have planned to do this the 50th episode together. By being physically present at one location and talking to each other, and maybe sharing some of the views and knowledges, that the experiences that we have learned from life. Those are some of the planning that we're doing. It is all with one single purpose and intention: to make a significant impact in this world. And as long as we are able to, it just take 1 hour of our life, 1 hour in a week. And if this 1 hour in a week can contribute something to somebody, I think that's really fulfilling. And we would never mind doing that. So that is the reason we are continuing this movement, because we believe that life indeed is a movement, and this movement will continue to go, continue to grow, with all of your blessings, with your supports, and whosoever is there. Smriti is asking, who is your mentor, sir, in self transformation? Smriti, it's a very, very good question. To be honest, I'm getting mentored from a lot of people. I mean, my mentor is somebody who is better than me. My mentor is somebody who's inferior than me. Maybe I would learn something from you. So I have a lot of mentors, to be honest, and not I would not name a single person. I learn from international mentors. I learn from my colleague. I learn from people. I learn from students as well. You can understand and imagine the level of knowledge and the experience who are the younger generations. You simply can't compete with them in the technology. So to be honest, I'm learning a lot of things from a lot of different people. As you know that you're from SAG family, so Praveen is one of our mentors in public speaking and communication. That has really, really transformed ourselves. So thank you so much for asking this question. Yeah. So this is a monthly Q&A session. I decided that I will keep it short today because Piyush is not there, and we had a thought that let's cancel it, but we decided not to cancel it because I was available, and I thought let's do it. Maybe I will do it for half an hour. I'm still left with 15 minutes with you guys, doing a conversation with you. So if you have any questions, post it. In the meanwhile, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I have recently learned, and how basically I, create the content, how I manage my time, and how I do all those things. I'll just take a sip of water. Give me a second. Thank you so much. So, a lot of you, a lot of people from Instagram and Facebook off late, they have recently contacted me to understand how do I manage my time. And I think it's one of the very, very significant question. Managing your time can be very beneficial if you manage it in the way it is supposed to be. So I would like to share how do I manage my time. What time I wake up, what time I go to bed, what do I do in between the day. So I'm going to share this unless you have any questions. So so to be honest, I usually wake up around 6. I prefer, I would not say I'm very, very superstitious person, but I believe in religion, because if you understand religion, it will always take you towards love. So I pray, I recite Quran, and I do a little bit of meditation. And I try to spend some time with myself, doing self reflection, because that is the time, that is a prime time before, in the beginning of the day, when you talk to yourself, when you ask question to yourself, when you questions your decision, when you plan for your future. So I do that. I spend quality of time with myself. Unfortunately, one thing that I've been missing on is the gym, because gym is closed from last 1 month in Delhi, so I have not been able to go to gym. But I'm soon to catch up. If the situation will remain the same, probably I will set up a home gym, because I cannot live without exercise. It's the most important thing. Health is a priority, so I basically exercise. And then I'm doing some courses from international mentors, so I study, and then I read book, and then I spend some time with the family. Then it's a time for lunch, then it's a time for office, and I make sure that during the time of office I don't do anything which is personal. I will make sure that I will give my 100%. I will contribute to the company's vision, mission, or strategy, and I will do all of the things which will help my company to grow. And once I'm done, maybe around 10:30, once I'm done, I prefer to read books. And between this time, I do a little bit cheating. I spend some time on social media, of course. It takes like few minutes for me to create a video on Instagram and put it maybe on LinkedIn or post, because when you do something consistently, you become so habitual, it doesn't feel like that you're doing. Maybe you're walking on, maybe at times you're walking somewhere, maybe you're walking on your roof, maybe walking in the garden, you had some idea, you just wrote it and you're done. You don't have to delegate, or you don't have to schedule a time for such things, to be honest, because ultimately the ideas, the good things can come at any point in time in your mind, and it is better to share it, it is better to document it. So that's what I do it. I mean, I don't feel like a walk. And one thing that I really do, that I have started doing from last couple of months, is I always segregate my activities into that Stephen Covey, quadrant, which says urgent and important. So I am trying to be consistent on that. I'm trying to keep a track of it, because ultimately it's very important to understand what are your non-negotiable tasks, what are your urgent and important tasks that need most of your attention. So I do that really, because that helps me to understand what is important for me and what is insignificant for me, something that I can delegate to somebody else, and something which really demand my attention right now. So I figure out, and at the end of the day, I do a reflection. What is the percentage of important things that I have done? If the percentage of important things is very small, then there is something to think about. There is something to reflect. So important things can be like for your future. Maybe you're reading a book to enhance your knowledge. Maybe you're practicing something. Maybe you're spending some quality time with your family. Maybe you're doing a meditation. So those are the important things. And I always make sure to schedule important things, and I do it. But if something which is not urgent, not important, it means it is insignificant, I can drop it simply. Maybe there is a call from there is a marketing call. I know that it's a hoax. Maybe it's a call. Somebody's asking me to get a credit card or something like that. It's not urgent. It's not important. So I can drop it. And something which is very urgent but not important, it is not important for me, for my life, for my future, but it is very urgent. Probably I'll ask somebody else to do it. Maybe in the future I'm going to delegate my social media work to somebody, so that, because that is urgent but that is not very important. It is not important over other important things. But something which is very urgent and very important, which maybe somebody is not well in your family, it needs your attention, so of course you got to do it immediately. And something is not urgent but important, those are the things that you got to schedule and do it. So this is how I manage my activities in the day. I thought to share it with all of you guys. I'm left with 7 to 8 minutes. If you have got any questions, please post it, because I want to make it interactive and I want to make it engaging, and I would love to answer your questions. In the meanwhile, I would like to take a pause and I'll check if there are any questions on different other platforms, to be honest. Okay. I have got question from Avinash. I would love to come back to you, Avinash. Just give me 1 minute, because due to some technical limitations, it doesn't show all of the questions on all the platforms. So I have to juggle between all of the platforms. So Avinash is saying, Tosif, how will I be able to interact with more people and strangers so that interpersonal communication can be improved? Right now, I'm stuck with few of my colleagues and friends and little to learn from them. Any insight into that? Avinash, I would like to say that it's a very good question, first of all, and thank you so much for being very, very courageous and asking this question, because at times asking questions require little amount of courage, and you have shown it. Thank you so much. And I would like to share my perspective onto this. Some time back, I was also very, very submissive. I was very subservient to the people, and I was very shy, and I would try to escape the meetings. I would try to avoid the conversation, just with one fact that I don't know what the other person is going to think about me. If I'll say something else, if I'll speak, if I will express myself, I don't know what the other person is going to think about me, how would they judge me, and what would be the consequence of that, vice versa. And most of the time I found myself taking the decisions of my life which were influenced by others. Those were not influenced by my future identity. Those were not influenced by my future self, not from my vision. And as I started to work on my self awareness, I realized that whatever I've been doing so far, it was fake. I was trying to impress everybody. I was trying to, do a lot of things for others. Of course, at times you have to, work for others, but that doesn't mean that you will sacrifice your own ambitions. You will sacrifice your own passion. You will sacrifice for what you do, what you love to do. I used to compromise, and I don't shy away in, doing this, saying this in front of everybody. So I think I follow Robin Sharma very closely. He says that become audacious in doing the things that you fear most. Become audacious in doing the things which scares you most. Now, for example, I used to get confused. I used to think about that. How can I interact with the strangers? And I used to think about it, but I decided that I will go against the gravity. I will go against the fraction. And how you can do that? This is an online world. Maybe you become proactive. You just think about who is the person who can add value into my life, and take proactive step. Just try to message somebody. Think about your because as Dale Carnegie also says that in order to become interesting, you have to become interested in others. So show your interest. As if you take an example of social media, there is someone who might help you in the future, who can take you to the next level. Start contributing to his content. Start helping him. Start going, and that will be the time when you will start noticing that there is someone with the name of Avinash who is really, really contributing, who really adds value. And in the future, if you will go back to them, they will always have offer value to you. It's a very simple universal formula of the world: give and take, right? And talking about meeting with strangers, do not shy away in saying that, I love to talk to strangers. So and I have decided that every week I would talk to a new person. I will share my knowledge, and I would love to engage. I would love to add value. Let's do that. 10 out of, if you get 1 out of 10%, and if you engage with him within a week, I think your job is done. And I'm not even saying in a week. Let's decide that I want to meet a new person. I want to talk to a new person in a month. You will end up talking to 12 people in 365 days. Imagine, out of those 12 people, if you've got one or two good person who will support you, your job is done. So I think if we are stuck somewhere down the line, it is our decision that we want to be stuck, because nobody is stopping you to go out of that bubble and go ahead and talk to people. Nobody is saying that, Avinash, do not go ahead and talk to strangers. It is our own limiting beliefs. These are our own limitations, and sometimes we don't even recognize them. That's the problem. And as I always advocate about this, that the more you become self-aware, the more you will realize that whatever you have been doing was wrong, or maybe inconsistent, it was incorrect. This is a trying to correct. And I mean, as हिंदी में कहावत है, जब जागो तब सवेरा. So you can always start to become the new version of yourself. You can always start to become the better version of yourself. There is no designated amount of time. There is no, today or tomorrow. Whenever you want to, let it be today, Avinash. Hope that answers your question. Thank you. uh Praveen Vadalkar. Oh my god. Love you. Keep speaking, keep growing. I mean, I would like to take a snapshot of this, man. I would like to take a snapshot of this. And I'm so, so happy today. Okay. Uh, Guys, I'm really, really happy because my mentor from SAG family, who is a mentor of many people, millions of the people, have commented on this podcast. Love you, and keep speaking and keep growing. I think out of all 46 episode that I have done, I'm blessed. Today is the best episode of my life. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming in and joining and sharing this comment. I would make sure I'll frame it. Thank you so much. Avinash, Avinash is saying, thank you for the valuable suggestion, Tosif. I will definitely reflect on it and introspect. Yes, brother. I mean, these are all the things that are there in our mind. They remain in our mind. The question really is that whether you take a pause, whether you do a reflection, and whether you try to understand your own decisions, doing a retrospection, going into the past, doing the introspection, and then doing the prospection, what's your plan in the future. And I have got a lot of benefits of doing reflections. I have got a lot of benefits, with spending time with myself. You know, going away from the people doesn't mean that you don't love them. Going away from the people who are not supporting you means that you love them, but you care most about yourself as well. You care yourself, and your ambitions, your vision are more important. Because ultimately, if you follow your vision and vision, mission and vision, which is contributing to the society, then of course, you are again helping other people. You have very honest and ethical ambition. Just go and chase that. Thank you so much, Praveen sir. It has truly made my day. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more. I couldn't have asked for more. Thank you so much. So, guys, I didn't even realize that I have gone past 30 minutes, and it was all because of the wonderful people, the Life Indeed community, who have come and joined me and asked amazing questions. Like Avinash has asked great questions, and Smriti and Mohsin and Muhammad, all of you have made it beautiful. Thank you so much. And most significantly, the reason why I'm so elated today is because my mentor has come and he has blessed me keep growing. So thank you so much. I'm really, really happy, and I'm really great. LinkedIn user, such a insightful thought, Tausif Hassan. Thank you so much. I don't know what is your name, because to me it appears as a LinkedIn user. But whatever your name is, if you are connected with me, I know you have the same quality of thoughts that you believe into the same that we also believe. So that is to impact people. So thank you very much, guys. Next week we have a wonderful guest from our community, whom we will do the session with, and it will be an opportunity for all of us to interact with her. I would not like to share the name and the details about our next guest, but we would love to share everything on the next episode itself. But it would be an opportunity for all of us to learn from her, interact with her, and share our experience with each other, because it is going to be ultimately win-win situation for everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, okay, Sharmista, thank you so much, Sharmista. Thank you so much for providing your name. Maybe it's a technical limitation that this is converting your name into LinkedIn user, but ultimately, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, guys, I would like to call it an end here because it's been more than 30 minutes. I would like to say thank you everyone and who have given your time and joined us and asked wonderful questions and made this discussion more meaningful and valuable. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye bye.